Welcome back, students. Let us start new point, that is factors affecting price elasticity of demand. Number 1, nature of commodity. Commodities may be necessities, comforts and luxuries. The demand for necessities like food grains etc. is relatively inelastic. The demand for comforts is also relatively inelastic, and the demand for luxuries is relatively elastic. Second, availability of substitutes. The price elasticity of demand also depends on the availability of substitutes. The price elasticity of demand is larger when substitutes are available. For example, Pepsi. But when substitutes are not available, demand is inelastic. For example, salt. Next, habits and customs. Elasticity of demand for a commodity consumed as a matter of habit or custom is inelastic. For example, smoker, drunkard, etc. Next, alternative uses. Demand may be elastic if the goods has many uses. For example, electricity. Next, complementary goods. When a good is linked with the use of other goods, demand may be relatively elastic or inelastic depending on the demand for complementary goods. For example, bread and butter. Next, income level of households. In case of high income goods, demand is relatively inelastic and vice versa. Next, time period. In case of short run, demand is relatively inelastic, whereas in the long run, demand is relatively elastic. Next, price level. In case of very high and very low level of price, demand remains relatively inelastic. For example, car, matchbox, etc. Next, proportion of income spent. Demand for any item on which small proportion of income is spent remains relatively inelastic. For example, daily newspaper. Next, postponement of consumption. If we could postpone the purchase of goods and services, demand is relatively elastic. But purchase of essential goods cannot be postponed, so demand for them is relatively inelastic. So these are the various factors, they affect the price elasticity of demand. And the question can be, explain the factors affecting price elasticity of demand. So all the factors you have to give in your answer. Thank you very much.